All right. We're like 48 hours away from football season.
Yeet.
Like we're real close to football season. And so it feels like this is a perfect time to finish off the offseason right with one of our favorite segments, Math.
Math Tuesday.
That's right, it's Math Tuesday, where we dive into the numbers on Tuesday. What a dumb show this is. God.
Math Tuesday.
This is...
Oh, we are on one today, boys.
We've created something really dumb. Anyway, it's Math Tuesday here on Texas Football Today, and what I want to do is I want to take a look at the computer rankings in 2022 summer or in 2022 season, which are going to go up right now on TexasFootball.com. Comprehensive computer rankings, all 1,500 plus Texas high school football teams ranked. You can see where your favorite team ranks. They're ranked because we have all of them. It's comprehensive, and so I think I've kind of explained the way that our rankings work in conjunction with our game projections, in the sense that the computer assigns a team a rating.
Mm-hmm. It's a numeric rating.
And the rating then determines whether or not they would be favorites or underdogs against any particular team.
Mm-hmm.
If you overachieve, then your rating goes up. If you underachieve, your rating goes down, and kind of is an equilibrium. It's an ELO rating is what it is to get into the...
And it's an unfeeling robot, so...
It is an unfeeling robot.
It doesn't have many
No,
tears.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
It's literally on-field performance.
It's an unfeeling robot. And so, look, basically we take the ratings. Whoever's got the higher rating is a team that's favored, and then depending on how big that difference is, depends on it, that kind of measures how far apart and how many points the computer thinks the team would win or lose by. Okay. So right now, based on the preseason projections, the preseason rankings, we can project every Texas high school football game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the computer right now could just run the numbers and think for a minute, and then it could just say, all right, I think Longview is going to win the state championship, and I think they're going to beat this team, this team, this team, this team, this team, this team, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, as a result, we do have like projected records for every team. Like, if the computer were to hold to form, which it won't, it's literally designed to change. But if it were to hold to form, we would know which teams would finish winless, which teams would go 6-4, which teams would go undefeated. And so I want to take a look especially at the teams that are projected to go undefeated, because this is not going to surprise you. So the highest rated team in our rankings right now, do you know who it is?
Austin Westlake.
It's Austin Westlake. They're the number one team in 6A. They are the highest rated team. This should not stun you. Because of that, there is not a team on their schedule that has a higher rating than them. So as a result, the computer believes that they are going to go 10-0. They're going to win every single game.
Seems likely.
Which seems like it's certainly within the realm of possibility. Okay? So, I'm not necessarily interested in that. Because that's, Austin Westlake going to be good is not like, that's not
groundbreaking news.
That's very dog bites man. Do you know what I mean? What I'm interested in is the teams that maybe you're not thinking of that are projected to go undefeated. And so, I put together a list of the teams that I think are interesting, notable teams that are projected to finish the regular season undefeated by the computer. Now, remember, this is not a comprehensive list. There's a lot of teams that are projected to go undefeated, right? But here's a list of teams that I thought were interesting that the computer likes to go undefeated. So one of them, we'll start in Class 6A. Highland Park, moving up from 5A to 6A, the computer says, yeah, you know what? We believe in the Scots. They start the year ranked number 20 in the state, but every team that they play, we knew that their district was going to be relatively manageable with the Richardson and Irving schools plus Dallas Jesuit. They played Flower Mound, Marcus, and Louisville in non-district. They're going to be favorites.
Which are two big 6A teams.
Yeah, big 6A teams, but they're favored to win both those games. So Highland Park. Jersey Village is favored to go back-to-back undefeated seasons. You remember they went 11-1 last year. They finished the regular season undefeated. I think the one that really caught my eye was Deer Park.
Yeah.
Deer Park's a team that starts the year 58th in our computer rankings. 58th, but their schedule is such in District 22 6A that they are favored to win every game that they're in.
Who is the team that wears the camo when they play them?
That would be LaPorte.
LaPorte. Okay.
LaPorte does. Here's one that's maybe off your radar, and it's Eagle Pass.
Yep.
The Eagles are favored to go undefeated. They are picked to go undefeated. Now, part of it is they're in a district with the United ISD, like Laredo schools, plus Del Rio.
But Laredo United South is never someone to sleep on.
Exactly. They're probably the second best team in that district. They're favored in every game, and then their 5 non-district games against Eagle Pass Win, Bernie Champion, Corpus Christi Moody, Edinburgh North, and San Marcos. They're favored to win each of those games.
That kind of surprises me about the Bernie Champion game, but that's interesting.
Yeah. And then another one down there in the Rio Grande Valley is Harlingen.
Yep.
Harlingen, the computer's pretty high on Harlingen to run through District 32 6A and take on these teams that and go through and finish the regular season undefeated. So that's 6A. Down in 5A, obviously with the split divisions, you've got a couple that I think are relatively noteworthy. San Antonio Southwest picked to go undefeated. Edinburgh Vela is kind of one of those two teams there in 5A Division 1 Region 4 that we think from the Rio Grande Valley that we really think has a chance to make a run, them and PSJA North. I'm going to skip over one. Canutillo out in El Paso, favored to go undefeated. Gregory Portland, favored to go undefeated.
How about that, Brent Davis?
And then there's Dallas Woodrow Wilson. New coach John Fish taking over. They are favored to go undefeated. And perhaps you're thinking, wait a second. What about this comes with a bit of an asterisk because they are right now the way that their District 6-5A Division 2 works out, they're zoning it. And so they're favored to start off 8-0. That's as far as the computer is willing to go because then their final 3 weeks, or they're going to have 2 more games, one of which, if they were to go 8-0, might be against South Oak Cliff.
Which poses
would be significant underdogs.
Right.
But for right now, they're projected
to
win
because of travel.
They're projected they zone because of travel. It's a 10-team district.
Okay.
And so they don't want them to play 9. They want to have more than one non-district game. So that's 5A. 4A is where things got a little bit interesting too. Can I interest you in undefeated Houston Fur?
Yeah, that
Houston Fur, they're in District 11 4A Division 1. They get Houston Chavez, Brookshire Royal, and Houston Provision Academy in non-district play. Then they get into District 11 4A Division 1 in Houston ISD, and they're favored to run through it. Now, North Forest poses a threat to them, and their opener against a 6A team in Houston Chavez poses a threat to them. But for now, they're favored to go undefeated. Same with Andrews. Remember, Andrews was a team that I believe was under 500 last year.
Yep.
But they're favored to go undefeated. El Paso Riverside's a team I'm pretty high on out there in the Sun City. Divine picked to go undefeated, and so is Sinton right now, according to the
Andrews also had a little bit of a rough season last year, too.
They
so
did.
That probably played a little bit into it.
I think the computer likes them to bounce back. San Diego picked to go undefeated. Remember, this is a 10-2 team in 3A. I
was high on them last year.
There's plenty of reason to be high on there. Orangefield, also favored to go undefeated after a 7-4 season last year in 10-3A Division 1. We like them as the favorite there.
They have a really good quarterback coming back.
Yes, they do. They do.
His name is escaping me, but
correct.
When we talked down in the BCS kind of area down there, they were very high.
What about Lexington? Lexington was a team that went 6-5 last year, but the non-district is relatively manageable. They got Thorndale in week 1 and Rockdale in week 3, but they should be favored in both those. The game against Rogers in district play, District 13 3A Division 2 play is going to be the key there. DeKalb, I'm pretty high on DeKalb, the Bears, and then Shallowater picked in 3A to go undefeated. In 2A, there's a couple of interesting ones that I think are for kind of different reasons. One of them is just a team that nobody talks about, and that's Alvorn. Alvorn went 8-4 last year, but you look at the way that their schedule lines up. They open the season against Olney, Valley View, Era, Petrolia, then they play a homeschool team in right before district play starts. And then in District 2A Division 1, they're favored to run through it and win the district. So they could finish the year undefeated. Stratford, of course, the 2A Division 2 state champions moving up, they are favored to finish the regular season undefeated. Coleman, Maud, and Lovelady also picked to finish the regular season undefeated. And then down the 6-man ranks, this is a little bit harder because, like, in 6-man, there's just fewer teams, and so, like, the heavyweights all have to play one another. And so, like, Erie and County is favored to go undefeated. May is the number 3 team in the state, and perhaps you're thinking not a surprise to go undefeated, but their schedule is brutal. They're favored to get through it. They opened the season against Jayton. Blanket, Oakwood, and Oglesby also picked by the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Computer. Again, right now, based on preseason projections, to finish the regular season undefeated. So I thought this was interesting. And again, this isn't counting the Austin Westlakes of the world. Austin Westlake is, of course, picked to finish the regular season undefeated. But there's also a number of teams that are maybe off your radar that every year the playoffs roll around and the brackets come out, and there's some team that you go, wait a second, they're 10-0? How did they finish 10-0? I want to tell you that these are the teams that maybe keep an eye out for. They could have they could run through their district and run through non-district undefeated and show up in the playoffs with an undefeated regular season. So there it is, the end of Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
We're gonna mothball Math Tuesday. We're gonna bring it back. Don't worry, we're bringing it back.
Okay.
But it won't be back.
I'm holding you to that.
January. This is the last Math Tuesday of 2022.
I can handle that. That gives me something to look forward to. Maybe I'll put a countdown on.
Yeah.
How many days? We're actually changing Thanksgiving, and we're changing it to how many days until Math Tuesday.
No, we're not.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.